I'd like to use this opportunity to, I'm not going to do the formal handing out of certificates, but you can see they're all here. So when you're leaving, please make sure just to pick them up. I have done it by partnership group, so just look for your principal, or look for the principal, and then the business partner one will be underneath that. But what I'd really love to do is just to take a minute or two just to honor each of you with a very personal gift. And there's a story behind it, as you know by now, in terms of the tokens of. And it is a little poiki pot. and so this is my little gift, together with PFP, in acknowledgement to each of you. So there's a red one and there's a blue one. So between the partnership, you can decide if you want red or you want blue. But the reason that I love the poiki is that in significant leadership, a leader never stands on his own. And so for me, the poiki symbolizes that there's three legs to it, so it makes it really, really sturdy. And in context to our PFP journey, I would have spoken about I, we, and the work. So for me, it's a symbolism or symbolic of that. The poiki for me is also symbolic of how we get together as a community, and when we break bread together, we get to nurture relationships, we get to share things that we wouldn't normally share in a very traditional business context. And so my hope, wish, and desire for each of you is that you put this in a place that is of value to you, and that it is a memento of our time together. So it doesn't have any branding or anything like that, but it's a symbolic piece that represents our 12-month journey together. And I hope that it's a piece that you enjoy. So this is me saying thank you to each of you for saying yes to this journey. I admire, respect, and I salute each and every one of you. So thank you for saying yes, and thank you for saying yes to being a part of this journey with me. I've learned so much from each of you on so many levels, and I'm very grateful and honored to be a part of Durban 9. So thank you. What I would like to now do is to call on Mel and Dan, just in terms of acknowledging our principles.
Come, Dan. You're voting Dan for mayor? And Dan does run.
Dan comédia.
In true diplomacy, he says, Mel, you do the talking, I'll just toast. You can see there's lots of leadership qualities there, so well done, Dan. So Jax, I think, thank you very much for those kind words. I think to our principals, as much as our formal journey is actually done, just want to recognize you and the path that you've traveled over the last 12 months. It's really been phenomenal, and I think as we've witnessed, you've grown so much, not just in terms of running your businesses and your schools, but also your own personal journey of development, and we see it. I mean, you couldn't utter a word. She sat there, she was so timid the first day I actually met her, and I think I acknowledged it in one of our meetings together that you just come out of your shell and you've grown so much. And I think each and every one of you has something that we can actually talk to. But if we do that, we will be here forever, so I'm not going to go down that route. But I think just from all of the partners, just to acknowledge your passion and your dedication to what you do. We visited some of your schools. We know it's not the easiest thing, but it doesn't faze you. You get up every morning, you're motivated, you're dedicated, and I think we really want to just acknowledge you for that passion, for this journey that you've shared with us. Thank you for making us better people. I know that all the partners have learned a hell of a lot from you guys. So I think on behalf of all of the partners, I just want to say thank you for sharing your journey with us. Thank you for allowing us to become better people. And I can truly say that, just looking at our education system, looking at people like you that are actually in it, thank you for developing our communities, thank you for developing our children, but just making it a better place for everyone. And just, continue on it. I have a quote that I actually picked up from one of my lecturers along the years of studying, and it said that an education is a realization of how little you know. And I heard it once and I thought, what is he talking about? And I said it again. An education is a realization of how little you know. Education never stops, because every time we learn, it's gaining an education. So never stop on your journey of learning, and thank you so much for sharing with us. And over to Dan.
Yeah, I'll keep it much shorter. I think your amazing principles to true South Africans that are committed not just to our country but to our future of our country. I salute you guys for amazing work you do, because many of us as business leaders came through the same system. For leaders like yourself, that we can still recall our teachers from grade 1 to grade 12. I think everybody can. So to you educators, we're really blessed to have you. It's been an amazing journey, and thank you so much. And cheers to you, and keep going strong. All the best.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you, Mal. I'd like to now call on Nhlanhla and Swazi.
I will sound like a business partner because I will be very short. Good afternoon, everyone. So I would like to salute our business partners, all of them, the gift they've brought into the space, the gift of love, the gift of just sharing, looking at each other, acknowledging eyes, the walk, the sharing, most of all, the gift of just knowing that this journey, we are with you guys. You've been patient, you've been kind, you've been listening. The gift of listening is very important. So we would like to thank you, the gift of your presence more than anything else. To know that you do have someone to call and someone else, who else could listen to me other than other principal, my business partner. That's the gift. That's the greatest gift we've had over the 12 months. So we really would like to thank you very much. The gifts that you've brought are just enough. I just want you to know that they were enough for each and every one of us. Whatever it was, feel proud and know that it's enough. What I have done, what I have walked with you, the partner, in the past 12 months, it is just enough. So thank you very much. I would like to salute you all. I would like to salute individually. Can I have the list? What's wrong with you? I would like to salute Dan in a special way with his partner, Bash, with her partner, Kate, Yvonne, and Lindiwe. We salute you guys. Let's drink to that.
Yeah, what a lovely day. It's nice, but it's also painful coming to think that we are meeting formally for the last time now, although the journey is still continuing. But the family that we have developed to be, it's hard to say we are parting, although we are not. I'm not going to say much, other than toasting to the. I was listening to the business people when they're talking there. Almost all of them, they were saying one thing from the private sector, to say, I'm not parting ways with my partner. I think that is the important, the aim, the most important aim for PFP, to develop the long-lasting partnership. Let us go to the long-lasting partnership. The partnership which is between Yen and his partner, Hashim, Mandy, Melanie, and Kenny. Let us drink to their partnership. Cheers. Cheers. Cheers.
Give me a chance to. You hug my partner. Where's the camera? Thank you. Thank you for being part. Some
Pro, you're looking at me like you're saying something. You can't let me hear you.
The principal in you is back.
This is the present that we want to thank, that we want as principal to pass on to Jack, for the patience that she has shown over the past 12 months. I wish it was 12 years. Over the past 12 months, you have tolerated our differences. You've nurtured us in a manner that you will never understand. You've grown us as individuals and as institutions, because we are here representing the institutions, as communities from where the schools are based. We want you to continue doing it, even for the others. And we don't want to see the last of you. Please remember us, give us a call, give us a shout now and again. You're welcome to come pass by if you are in Guamashu. If you are at Clermont, you can go to Vezamafa. If you are at Dwedwe, you can go past Sanele Primary. This is our token. We know it's not much, but it comes from all our hearts. Thank you.
Thank you, Principal. So appreciate those words of acknowledgement. You know that warms my heart. Thank you. I'd like to call on Sandili. I believe he would like to share a few words on behalf of the principals to our group, followed by Sheen and
It's such a very difficult moment to say thank you when there's been a whole lot of thank yous said before. But I want to say particularly thank you to the principals. I know sometimes you don't want to thank yourself. Thanking principals in the sense that, like it has been said before, we came in here not sure what we were in for. And slowly we worm our way into the space, and wow, we started to be easy with our stories, opening ourselves back to other people, a space which many principals don't find comfort in. But PFP gently pushed us to the space where it's okay to be weak. And we shared our weakness. Difficult in the sense that as a principal to occupy the space, because everybody looks up to you and say, there is a leader, deal with situations. You can't go to the inspector, because the inspector will say, why did you apply if you're not fit enough? Neither can you go to the parents, SGB. No, we don't have a firm principal in this one. Please give us somebody else. So you avoid laying bare. And we went through the journey together. Thank you, principals, for that, and thank you, PFP. I want to thank partners for allowing yourselves to stumble and fall with us and journey with us on a journey which none of us, I think, knew what it entailed. But we walked together. A lot has been said about the journey. Experiences have been shared. We really want to say thank you. Initially, when I heard about corporate people, I said, I wonder what understanding they would have of the school, particularly of the falling schools. When you come from a building like this, what do you make of a falling school? But then We journeyed together, we learned together. We realized that there's a whole lot to learn together. Thank you, partners, for allowing yourselves and declaring tonight that this is just a milestone. It's just the beginning. We are in this together. We want to profusely thank you very much.
Thank you.
To the facilitators, Justin, little has been said about you, or to you. You occupy the space that not so conspicuous, but the impact, whenever you make an input, it really is so worthwhile. Thank you for just being there. And I know you're such a pillar to your colleague. Thank you very much. I don't want to forget, I know he's not here, Rama. Who can forget Rama? This amazing ability to facilitate, speaking from the heart. There were times I would engage with, and I'm sure it speaks the same for most of us, an ability to speak to the heart, speak to the brain, speak to the emotions. Exactly what PFP is about. Be present and learn it, do it, experience it. And I'm sure in the past 12 months we did experience that. And we experience that every single day when we have our meeting, our meeting like this. Jax, you have such an amazing gift. And it's not just one, but one is able to tap on this one, your sense of presence, your sense of the ability to accommodate, to make everybody part of the process. I've never, at any given time, and I want to believe that I'm speaking on behalf of all of us, in your presence, you are present. And that is what one of the module we learned, being present. So it was not just theory, we lived it, we really did. And we want to also extend our gratitude to our sponsors. We've had hiccups here and there, but because they believed in this project, they held on to it. They still are holding on. And I'm sure as we move on to COP10, they are there as well. And we want to say to our sponsors, it's a job well done. This is a journey every single principal should undertake and experience. I have a few principals in mind who I felt a particular principal who, I won't mention names, I'm sorry, really need. It's not about how educated one is. It's not about PhD or masters or, this is a practical journey we all have to experience. For that, we are so grateful. Thank you very much.
And then over to Asheen to close off for us in terms of formalities. Thank you, Asheen.
So because it's formality, there's a speech. Okay, so pull out your tissues because you're going to cry. So I'm going to start by telling you a little story. It's not relate, but bear with me. A story about Sipo. So Sipo's teacher is warned at the beginning of the school year not to ever make a bet with Sipo unless she is 100% confident she can win the bet. So one day in class, Sipo raises his hand and he says, "Teacher, probably going to need to edit this. I'll bet you 100 Rand that I can guess the color of your underwear." So she replies, "What do you think?" She says, "Okay, meet me after class and we'll settle it." But before the class ends, she goes to the bathroom and removes her underwear. After the class is over and the students clear out, Sipo makes his guess. Blue! She says, nope, you're wrong. So she lifts her skirt, only to reveal that she is not wearing any underwear. So guess what? He says, well, come with me to my dad's car. What you thinking? He's waiting for me, and I'll get you the money. Because now obviously he lost the bet. So she follows him out. When they get to the car, she informs Sipo's dad that he had lost the bet, and in fact she was not wearing any underwear. So Sipo's dad says, Eish, that's Sipo. He bet me 500 rand that he would see you before the end of today. Okay, so on a more serious note, it is my honor to deliver the closing message, so thank you for that. So, Partners for Possibilities, wow, what an incredible journey for all of us, and I think we've heard different versions of how incredible it was. Let me start first by acknowledging Jackie. Thanks for being who you are and making this a success. To be honest, you're the glue that keeps all of this together and keeps us inspired. So thank you. Also thanks to Justin, Rama and Louise and the team for the constant encouragement and the contribution to the journey, because there's been all of this contribution that has made this incredible as a whole. There's a few nuggets that I must share before I leave. So if you truly invest in partnerships, and there's partnerships of all forms, they can become very effective. And I think today we heard some types of partnerships that are very effective, but there's so many others, whether it was businesses, whether it was government, whether it was other schools, to Dan's point around connections. Just investing in a partnership can become so effective. The second thing is just being open to possibility can be so powerful. The next one I just want to share is, as you can see, I've been taking notes throughout this year. We can all become better at listening, and that's listening to understand rather than listening to respond. And finally, as you've heard from many of us today, the journey has already begun. In fact, that was Rama's words. I remember him saying, the journey has already begun. The change is already happening. Guys, the journey is already happening around you. And in fact, as you can see today, the change is happening, and it's still the beginning. So thank you.
Thank you.
So thank you to each and every one of you. Is there something you wanted to say, Justin?
So thank you, everybody. Just listening to all of your stories this evening was such a privilege. I know I was just a timekeeper, but I got to listen as well. And one of the things that struck me is that we all know that PFP is a leadership development program. It's all about building the business leader. It's all about building the principal in the interests of our children, really, and in terms of building the education system. But there's something else that really struck me about this group this evening, and I just want to share a message that I sent to Louise now, which I think sums up this group for me and what the depths to which you've been as a group under Jackie's leadership. And I just said, my reminder from tonight's celebration is that PFP has as much to do with breaking down prejudice, racism, bigotry, sexism, classism, and patriarchy as it does about education. The shifts that I've heard from all of you in different ways of how you've come to see somebody's humanity differently is for me what the absolute nugget of this program is. And for me, that's why I want for us to take this further. Yes, we need our education system transformed. But in this room tonight, in a country which is so divided along race lines, along power lines, along political lines, look at this room tonight. If you were to be the international news following South Africa, you would never believe that this room was in South Africa. Because it stands as a beacon in a time of division. And I want to salute and commend every one of you for being willing to allow the scales to fall from your eyes, to see across these divisions and these lines, and to see one another's humanity. Because that's really what this program's about, isn't it? And once we do that, we can do anything. Because we're, as Asheen said, we're in partnership, but equal partnership. So thank you to each of you for being so brave and to allow yourselves to go along that path.
Thank you. And just in closing, I've realized, Yvonne, my sincere apologies, I forgot to whisper in Asheen's ear about the little gift that is also in the mugs, and Justin, there is one there for you. Yvonne had an exquisite idea in terms of a memorabilia for us to all be remembered by. So she arranged for, together with the business partners, so there's a mug for each of us, and it's the photograph of at our first launch. So I hope that you each enjoy it. It's been beautifully done. So thank you, Yvonne, for going out of your way to make it possible. So do we have time for just a little bit of a song and maybe a little bit of a dance before we all have to get on our bicycles and go? For those that can stay for a little bit. What time do we need to be out of here, Asheen?
Midnight.
The boss has spoken.
And thank you to Jeff for being our photographer. And thank you so much. You made us feel super, well, I felt super comfortable.
You made us super beautiful.
Thank you.
I should go.
Are you imagining the music?
We are good.